Hey guys, I thought I'll quickly show you how I pull apart these Walthers passenger coaches. Just bear with me, it's a bit brutal, but the results speak for itself. So you grab them on both sides. What I do beforehand is I just press the roof along the lines a little bit, not too hard, but just to release the tabs that's a bit stubborn. Grab them on both sides. You can see this one's already popping open. This will be an easy one. Twist, turn, off. I'll show you in another one. That was a bit too easy. They're not that easy. Let's try this one. Like I said, I press them a little bit along the top, then grab them on both sides. You have to press and twist and turn in opposite directions. Sometimes they need to be spun around. You can see it's already open there, but it's holding on the other side. So I'll give them a bit of a twist for good measure on the other side, and it just lifts off. Sometimes you might break one tab. That's not the end of the world. You could glue it back in. I don't even bother. Once you press it back in, they hold fairly good. So these are the coaches I'm busy with, and there's quite a few that we need to do. These domes, they come apart a little bit easier. A little bit of a timiest thing, but man oh man, when you see it on the tracks, well worth the effort. Okay, first things first, I'll quickly show you guys the LED lights that I'll be using. So this is a cheap, sorry for the shakiness. This is a cheap product I bought on eBay. It's warm white LED strip. It can be used for DC or DCC. The strip's got little resistors. Oops, sorry. I need to be mindful with the cameras. It's got little resistors in everywhere, so you don't have to worry about putting in resistors. You can just hook it straight up to your 12 volt. We'll get into that a little bit down the line. And then I'm using this DCC Concepts liquid flux, and I'm using solder wire. The reason why I use the flux, I find that these things have got some sort of a coating on them, and if you don't use a good flux, nothing sticks to them. You end up melting half of this thing away and the wires just does not stick. So that is why I use the flux on that. I've got a little wire that already got one side, so I might trim this down depending on how long I need the LED strip. So the general idea is those two go on there, and that goes onto LED strip. I glue them on the inside of the roof, and then I leave it sitting there for a day or so, because I use crazy glue or super glue. But as you all know, or for some of you that might not know, when you use crazy glue and you close it up, it actually frosts. It makes like a funny frost or a glaze over your windows, and it looks horrible and you cannot get rid of it. I've seen guys use WD-40 to actually get rid of that glaze, but it's horrible. So just leave it open, let the super glue dry on the roof, leave it for a couple of hours, come back, close it, no drama. Alright, I'm going to get into the soldering of this. I'm going to move that up for a second. And where's my little toothpicky? Right. So I use a little toothpick to add my flux. So the idea of the flux is just to help the solder run and find a decent contact surface. Right. I've got a little tweezer set up here. Okie dokie. Now, the reason why I do this is so that I can actually use the box to rest my roof on. So it just makes it easier for me to attach all that in. So it's just literally a flip over. The only thing you need to be mindful here, guys, is these things only go on one way. So when you do glue it in, you gotta make sure that it's in the right side. They only go one way, guys. So if you mess it up, you're in trouble. All right. So that one will flip back that way. Right. Too easy on that one. Guys, it's a little bit shaky. If you do this at home and you don't have a camera sort of stuck in your face, you'll see that it's not actually that big of a deal. It's actually quite a quick process. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. The length, now I know a lot of you are going to ask, oh, what's the length of the wires? This you're going to have to gauge on your windows. Yeah, as you can see, there's not a lot of this. There's a lot of space here where you can actually hide it. Even if it's a little bit too long, if it's glued down on the roof, it just hangs at the top. You do not see it through the coaches. These strips have got their own little glue on the back. Don't let that lure you into a false sense of security, because it actually doesn't hold that well. And these strips do get a little bit hot over time. Not melting hot, but they do generate a bit of heat. So just again, disclaimer. But we've had them sitting at the club layout, you know, for the whole day while the guys are having tea, and nothing has melted so far. Now, here's where the problem comes in. I'm gonna glue this in place, but what I recommend, what I do is I do a little dot on each side, very minimal, because if the glue runs crazy through the tape, it actually destroys it actually insulates the wires on the inside, and now you got a strip that's not working, or it might even create shorts. So I'll do a little bit there and a little bit there. I am very sparingly gluing this in place, guys. Like, stay away from where your resistors are along the tape. Just go for little spots where there's no LEDs or there's no electrical component. So what I've done, ooh, that's a good, the solder iron is right underneath my hand. So I've gone there, let's see, I've gone there. I leave mine for a day. If you're gonna run this on DC, you can run it on DC. However, it's only gonna be running one direction. So the minute you change your polarity, the LED strips are not gonna work. Unfortunately, that's the joys of running DC. However, there's a way around this. If you want to run these things on DC, you need to put in a little bridge rectifier. That'll take in, doesn't matter which current it comes in, and it will automatically put one side to a positive and one side to a negative. That means that you can have directional lighting on these coaches on DC, so long as you use a bridge rectifier. You can also add capacitors to these, but these are fairly good in terms of holding a bit of current, so they are very good at flicker free in that regard. That is it for this install. So this is all the coaches done. I'll leave them sitting like this for a few hours just to let the glue dry, and then we'll start assembling them, which is a simple task of just clipping the roofs back in. So this one's ready to go. I've just got on my little programming track with my Digitracks, and show you what she looks like. So a little bit of a flicker, but it's just dirty track on my programming side. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. It's a bit bright on the camera, but it's actually not that bright in real life. I think the camera is just giving it a bit of a glare. A couple of these on the track looks magnificent. I'll do another updated video in the next few days about the whole set on the rails doing its thing. Thanks for watching.